How do you help students control their digital footprint? We're going to talk about that next on the EdTech vlog. Hi, I'm Dr. Matt Harris, and I do a lot of work around the world around digital citizenship. So I'm a Common Sense Media ambassador. I've helped develop award-winning programs around digital citizenship, and I've worked with schools around the world integrating digital citizenship directly into learning. Not just an add-on or like the one digital citizenship week or doing something through like a social emotional class or something. I've actually developed a program that integrates digital citizenship into everyday lessons, and that's why I won an award. But anyway, that's a different video. We're going to talk about one element of digital citizenship and helping students understand how to not necessarily protect themselves, but take control of their digital lives. So one of the worries that I really have around digital citizenship is that we take this deficit model. We think about problems, we think about issues, we don't think in depth about the potential for great things that technology interactions or online communications can do for young students. In fact, the story right now is becoming this notion of taking control of your digital footprint. You know, this idea that everything that you do follows you, like footprints in the sand. And it's interesting because we don't even really talk about digital footprints anymore. We talk about a digital tattoo because footprints can be washed away by the waves, but that doesn't happen on the internet. The internet is far more permanent. And like a tattoo, yes, you could get rid of it, but it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of money, and it probably is going to hurt a lot. So we're having these discussions with students about the things that they're doing at young ages, like teenage years or younger, that are following them into their 20s and 30s through university and affecting their professional and personal lives going forward. And so what I try and do is actually take a different spin on it. So we have this discussion with them about, everything you say, everything you post, the way you portray yourself is part of how you're viewed online. The same as, the clothes that you wear and the speech patterns, all of that in your quote unquote real life or life off the computer or off the phone is how you're portrayed and how people view you and will affect your relationships and your opportunities. It's the same online. And you know what? You're going to make mistakes just as you will in the real world. You'll make them in both places. It's how you react to them, and it's how you take control of that is the most valuable for students themselves. So the thing that I tell students is control the narrative. And this is a great term to use with them because they understand it. It's tied to storytelling and gameplay, and students have a real strong understanding of how they can control their characters in those lives. If they treat their own online identity, their own online footprint, as a narrative, then they can do amazing things with it. And so we take this very positive, forward-thinking approach of like, hey, you know what? I want to be seen as somebody that's an expert on animals. I'd like to be a veterinarian, or I'd like to help them. So I'm going to post things about animals, and I'm going to go onto sites to talk about animal welfare and show videos of things that I like to do, and that's going to be the basis of my comments and the things that I put online. I'm going to control that, and I'm going to be able to articulate it at a deep level, things that are important to me, by taking all of these pieces and putting them together into one common narrative. By having that common narrative, it helps them get into university, it helps when people are searching for them, it helps them control the way they want to be seen. If they're not controlling that narrative, then things are going to happen. If you have a student that doesn't care what they wear every day, you know what? You still are technically making a statement. So what I tell them is control that narrative. Use it to your advantage. Obviously, don't allow people to post things that you don't like and take control of those potential mistakes. But when you're doing things yourself, have purpose about it. Don't just speak about the first thing that comes to your mind. Don't engage in the negative. This is another thing I say. Don't fall into the trap of the negative. It's very easy to be online and say negative things or post negative posts or comments or whatever. Don't do that, because that's part of the narrative that's going to follow you. Control the narrative of the person you would like to be seen as. For lack of a better term, do your makeup. Do your makeup for your online profiles and your online demeanor and your online, your avatars and your choices of speech and the content you put. Control that narrative. And when they consciously control that narrative, then people know what to ask them and what to expect of them online and can follow them more appropriately. It really is a cornerstone basis of digital citizenship, more than these deficit areas of like safety and worry and personal information. The ability to control who you are and how you're perceived by controlling the narrative is an amazingly powerful skill for students. So as you're working with digital citizenship in your schools or even with your kids if you're a parent, talk about the choices that they're making online and how to be conscious about them rather than being reactive or funny or just the things that just aren't going to work. Control the narrative and you'll be a very respectful, valuable, and productive digital citizen who can use that profile to better your own life. So hey, do me a favor, subscribe to my channel below here. We're going to do more posts on digital citizenship and these various elements in the near future because this is a topic I'm very excited about and things that I'm working with in schools quite a bit. And then follow me on Twitter. My handle is @MattHarrisEdD, and I talk about a number of things related to digital citizenship and EdTech and all sorts of stuff. So join me, share, connect with me, and let's continue the conversation. Thanks for listening.